All right, this is my last video, I promise. Now we're combining resources, and this is actually review. We're just changing the terminology a little bit. So how do we do this? In this scenario, we have more than one resource, right? We can choose between, in this scenario, robots and workers, right? So the question is, how many robots and how many workers? What combination should I do? So we actually call this a least cost rule. The least cost rule means that we're going to produce where we have the fewest costs. Now that's marginal product of product X over the price of product or resource X. So MP over P of X equals MP of Y over Y. We know that's going to be equal, right? Or another way to say the same thing is by simply adding the costs and the revenues in there. MRP of X over price of X equals MRP of Y over price of Y, right? So when we're looking at MRP, it's saying the same thing, but instead of just marginal products, it's marginal revenue product. Now, I want to say this because I didn't say it in class, but I want you to understand that that's a format switch. They could have you, instead of just MP, have MRP. Nothing changes. Use the same strategy, and you will be just fine. Okay? Now, let's try this out. So the goal, first, you find the MP over P for each of the resources. Then you find the matchy-matchy, and then you ask the question, do I have enough money for this? So the answer is already there for you, but I'm going to show you how I got there. So I know that robots are priced at $10 a piece. I need to find my marginal product, which is here, over price. So I simply take MP, 30, over my price of 10, and that gives me an MP over P of 3, right? And that tells me how much marginal product per dollar I get from using that first robot. My second one is 20, marginal product. When I get my second robot, it gives me 20 additional units of output. My price of that is $10, so 20 divided by 10 is 2. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 5 divided by 10 is 0.5. Jump over here. Workers are actually $5 a piece. So now when I'm finding this, instead of dividing by 10, I'm dividing by 5. So my first worker gives me 20 units, costs $5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. That person is going to give me 4 units of production per dollar that I spend on them, right? Then 15 divided by 5 will be 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And 5 divided by 5 is 1. Now that I have that under control, I find my matchy-matchy, right? I know that this rule is true, just as true as this rule. So if you have MRP, that's fine. I know that's true. So I find where it matches, and then I ask, do I have enough money for that? In this scenario, I'm given a budget of $35. You have to find your budget in order to figure this out. Now, let's look at our first matchy-matches, 3 and 3. So at 3 and 3, I can get one robot. That robot's going to cost me $10. So I spent $10. Here at 3, I can get 2 workers. They're going to cost me $5 a piece. So 2 times 5 is $10. So I'm going to spend a total of $20 for one robot, 2 workers. I can afford it, but I'm not going to stop there because I have leftover money. I have more in my budget. So what do I do next? Well, I found my second matchy-matchy, which is 2 and 2, which is the answer. Surprise, surprise, right? Add 2 here, I have 2 robots. So that's going to cost me $10 a piece. So I'm going to spend $20 on those 2 robots. And over here at 2, I can get 3 workers. That's going to cost me $5 a piece. So I'm going to spend 15 on workers, 20 on robots, 15 on workers. Total cost of $35. I can afford it, and I'm at 0, which means I have the best combination of workers. It's going to both maximize my profit and minimize my costs. 2 robots, 3 workers is the key there. So be able to puzzle those out. If you have something where like you have the MP over P is 1 for robots and MP over P is 4 for workers, then you have to decide, should I buy more robots or less robots, or more workers or less workers, right? So in this scenario, if that's true, if I have an MP over P of 1 for robots and 4 for workers, I need to try to get those closer together. So I need 1 to go up. How do I get the marginal product per dollar to go up? Well, I know the law of diminishing returns means I should produce less, or I should employ less. So I'm going to get rid of robots. I need fewer robots in order to get that number up, get it closer to 4. So 1 is going up towards 4. And vice versa. For labor, I need the 4 to go down closer to 1 until they meet, right? They should be moving in opposite directions. How do I do that? I employ more laborers. So I should employ more laborers in that scenario. That's as difficult as it gets. That's it for review videos. Hopefully this is helpful stuff to you. I'm looking forward to you guys performing well on the test tomorrow. Peace.